Hi there, welcome to my channel. Don't mind the box, it may not be the nicest, it's kinda lopsided, but it's what's on the inside that counts. The nice people at COOCAA, I really like their name, sent this over to me to do an unbiased review, and after seeing the initial images for these speakers, it was a no-brainer. These are your typical multi-use speakers, but they have a really nice aesthetic design, and as soon as I open this up, you'll know what I mean, unless you really analyze the thumbnail for this video. Let's get some info out of the way. These are called the COOCAA Play2S speakers, and you can find them on Amazon for $39.99, along with a 5% off coupon as of the upload date of this video. So it's on the higher side of the budget speaker realm, but still affordable. The first thing I pull out is the user manual, which goes over some of the basic features and functions of these speakers. I said multi-use earlier. By that I meant you can use this with a computer via USB or Bluetooth. I think it does have Bluetooth 5.0 and then a trusty dusty 3.5mm or aux cable. Here are the actual speakers, and I understand why the box was so lopsided and deformed when we first showed it. They put some thick styrofoam in there, and I appreciate that greatly. So I'm sure these things are safe and they're pretty snug, so they're not going to move around. So here are a few more accessories. We have a good showing of the styrofoam right there. You see how thick that is? That's crazy. So the first thing I'm going to open is the little cord or cable package that they included, and it looks like it's just a micro USB to standard USB cable, along with a 3.5mm cable that has a 3-conductor plug, meaning that it has those 2 black stripes, which is only good for audio output, so for listening to things. So a little fun tidbit, if you want to make sure your aux cable supports a microphone, make sure it's a 4-conductor plug, which has 3 black stripes, because the added conductor is obviously for the microphone. So let's get these little bad boys open and see what they look like. And so far it looks so good. I love how it's a metal housing with a wood top. It looks so cool. That's my favorite color scheme, is brown and silver or brown and gray. If you've noticed, a lot of my accessories, like even my work bag, it was a gray and brown bag. I love this color scheme. That's just my favorite thing. And there's some rubber feet on the bottom. And for weight wise, they're not heavy at all, but also not too light like some speakers you get at a discount store like 5 and below. But on the Amazon listing, it states that they're about 2 pounds each, with the right side being slightly heavier because it houses the controls. For all of my fellow nerds out there, I'm going to put up some nerd specs on the screen for those who want to know more about frequency, distortion rate, and so forth. But for basic info, each speaker does have 2 5-watt drivers, and the dimensions of these speakers are 3.8 inches by 3.8 inches, because it's rounded, by 6.82 inches, so pretty compact. So here's the right speaker that houses all of the controls. The only negative point that I can see so far is that the volume knob isn't fixed, so it constantly rotates, but I believe there is a chime that plays for when it's maxed out. But the awesome thing about these speakers is that the volume is controlled separately from the device that it plugs into, so you can max out this volume and then have your phone at 50% or your computer at 25%. Also, that volume knob doubles as a power button if you hold it down, and it also changes sources, so you can go from aux to Bluetooth to the USB connection. So it has some pretty nifty controls, and tapping on it, metal housing with a wooden top. I love how it looks. The only thing that's not metal is the bottom, which is made out of plastic, but not a big deal. And the rubber feet grip nicely as I try to move it on my table over and over again. But ultimately, this is going to go to the left and right of my iMac, which is in the background of this video, so it's going to end up there eventually. So let's get the speakers connected to each other with this one cord that's attached to the left speaker. So it's actually wired to the left speaker. It's detachable to the right, so that's one good thing at least. Ideally, if they were wireless, that'd have been awesome, but realistically, for the price range, it makes a lot of sense. So let's get it plugged in, get it to this USB hub over here, and there's a red light that shows that it's powered up. And as mentioned earlier, these speakers do act as their own sound card, so if you plug it in with that single micro USB cable to a computer, it powers them up and you can start listening to music or watching shows right away. Plug and play. So if you want to use the Bluetooth or aux features, you'll need to use the micro USB cable plugged in as a power source, and then you'll have to tap that volume knob to change sources. So I'm going to use this little boom microphone for my phone to get a better sound quality of these speakers, and there it is on my external speakers or headphones menu, acting as its own sound card. It has a different source name, but those are the speakers right there, that word that starts with a J. So let's get a sound test going and see how these speakers actually work. Just a little warning, I will try to max out the speakers at some point, so please guard your ears for that portion. So I dropped the volume in editing at this point, but the speakers don't have the best bass. But the mids and highs sound clear and crisp. With my boom mic, what it's picking up, it's slightly altered from what I actually hear, but it's pretty darn close. This is definitely not a set of studio monitors to make beats and use for those sort of things that require good low end, but for podcasts, watching shows, vocals, I think this is going to benefit my setup regarding keeping track of my voiceovers. And with that, let's try out the aux port. To get to that source, you just press the volume knob until the light right there below turns purple. So that's the setting for the aux port. So I have my old Moto E5 Plus, and I'm just going to play one of my own YouTube videos and see how the voiceover sounds through that.
Unique or cute. So with that, I'm just going to show off what I have. So good friends in chat and good friends of the channels of my channel, Phoenix, Wendy, and Geo, have donated close to 300 Nook Miles tickets over the past month. So I just want to give a big shout out to...
So after listening for a few seconds, these speakers work way better with dialogue and listening to my own voiceovers. So as mentioned earlier, the mids and highs shine way brighter than the lows for the COOCAA Play2S. Moving on from the aux port, I just want to test the Bluetooth function of these speakers just to see if the sound quality is on par with the cable connection. So we press the volume knob until we get to the blinking blue light. That's how we know it's in Bluetooth mode and searching for a device. When that blue light turns stationary, that's how we know our device is connected. Strange thing, Bluetooth connection wise, it comes up as COOCAA Play2S. The USB connection had another name, so that's kind of weird, but it all works, so no complaints here. But here's how it sounds via Bluetooth.
Did not know I had prom night on Beach Face Island this past Saturday, and this whole thing was set up like a little city skyline, so made it into a little outdoor theater. Oh, it used to be Gecko Adventures. Okay, hello, it's nice to see you.
But it's safe to say that the Bluetooth connection sounds just as good as the wired connection. For both tests, I kept my phone at max volume while the speakers were set to about 60%. Overall, these speakers performed nicely. The only downfall is the low end, so anything bass heavy won't have that same punch as more premium speakers. But the mids, where vocals are heard, the whole mid section, all of those sounds are really clear. And the highs, where a lot of sound effects go off, that sounded really crisp. So during the USB connection with the iMac, I kept my computer volume at around 50 to 60% while I maxed out the volume knob on these speakers. It was clear that as soon as I got near the maximum volume, things started to sound distorted. So I'd say keeping everything at around 50 to 75% is optimal for these speakers. Otherwise, distortion will become an issue. For my use, these will help monitor my voiceovers while editing, so I have the perfect application for these. For others, listening to your favorite podcast or watching your favorite TV show may be the most suitable media outlets for these speakers. Music still sounds good, but if anything is bass heavy, it just won't have that same punch you'd get from speakers with similar dimensions. Overall, not bad for the price. I really like the design. It looks great next to my iMac, and I'll be using these for editing from now on. For those interested, the link for these speakers are in the description for this video, so feel free to check that out. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to check out these others. If you really liked hanging out with me today, please consider subscribing. And for those who want to support my channel just a little bit more, check out that join button down below to see my channel memberships, and maybe you can see your name at the beginning or end of all of these videos. I'll see you all soon. Please stay safe out there. Bye.